The real reason Parker suddenly vanishes in NCIS Season 24. The morning began like any other at NCIS headquarters. Timothy McGee arrived first, balancing a cup of coffee in one hand and a tablet in the other. Torres walked in a few minutes later, already complaining about Washington traffic. Knight and Casey were arguing about whether a new artificial intelligence program could actually help solve cases. Everything felt normal, until Alden Parker didn't show up. At first, nobody thought much of it. Parker wasn't known for being late, but he occasionally disappeared into meetings or followed leads without warning. After everything the team had survived during the previous year, the death of Director Vance, the corruption scandal involving Army CID, and the shocking events that nearly tore the agency apart, everyone assumed their team leader simply had another secret assignment. But by noon, nobody had heard from him. His phone went straight to voicemail. His office was empty. His government vehicle remained parked outside his apartment. And that was when McGee started to worry. "Something's wrong," he finally said. Torres frowned. "You think?" "No," McGee replied quietly. "I mean really wrong." The room fell silent, because everyone knew Parker. He wasn't Gibbs. He didn't disappear into the wilderness for months. He wasn't the type to leave people guessing. If Parker was gone, there was a reason. And the more they searched, the stranger things became. The first clue came from Casey. After accessing agency records, she discovered Parker had used his credentials at exactly 2:13 a.m. Then nothing. No emails, no phone calls, no travel requests, no official reports. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. "What was he looking at?" Knight asked. Casey hesitated. "That's the weird part." "What?" "He accessed a classified archive." McGee stepped closer. "Which archive?" Casey swallowed. "The Vance files." The room froze. Every person there remembered the tragedy. Director Leon Vance had been more than their boss. He had been family. His death had devastated the agency. But why would Parker be looking through those files in the middle of the night? And why disappear immediately afterward? Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away, Parker sat alone inside a remote cabin hidden deep within the mountains of western Pennsylvania. The cabin belonged to nobody, at least officially. No utilities, no records, no electronic footprint. Exactly the kind of place an experienced federal agent would choose if he wanted to disappear. Rain pounded against the windows. A single lamp illuminated stacks of files spread across the table. Files connected to Vance, files connected to old FBI investigations, files connected to cases that should have been closed years ago. Parker stared at a photograph. His expression darkened. Because the man in the picture was supposed to be dead. Yet, according to evidence Parker had uncovered, someone had carefully erased that man's death from the official record. Someone powerful, someone dangerous, someone connected to the very conspiracy that had destroyed Vance's life. And if Parker was right, everything the team believed was a lie. Back at NCIS, the investigation intensified. McGee obtained security footage from the Navy Yard. The video showed Parker leaving headquarters at 2:47 a.m. alone. No signs of distress, no indication he was being followed. Then another camera captured him stopping at a storage facility. He entered one unit, remained inside for 20 minutes, then drove away. Knight and Torres immediately headed there. Inside the unit, they found boxes, old boxes, dust-covered boxes, personal boxes. Everything belonged to Parker. Childhood photographs, military records, FBI documents, family keepsakes. Yet one item stood out, a notebook. McGee recognized the handwriting immediately. Parker's. The final page contained only one sentence. "If you're reading this, I'm already gone." Torres stared. "That doesn't sound good." "No," McGee agreed. "It really doesn't." For the next 3 days, Parker remained missing. The FBI became involved. Congress demanded answers. News outlets began reporting that the leader of NCIS's major case response team had vanished. Rumors spread everywhere. Some claimed Parker had been kidnapped. Others believed he had resigned. A few conspiracy theorists even suggested he had turned rogue. The truth was far more complicated. Because Parker wasn't running from the law. He was protecting the people he cared about, including his own team. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. Casey discovered an encrypted file hidden inside Parker's office computer. The encryption was sophisticated, far beyond anything Parker normally used. After nearly 12 hours of work, she finally cracked it. A video appeared on screen. Parker looked exhausted. His beard was longer. His eyes revealed something nobody had ever seen before. Fear. "McGee," Parker said directly into the camera, "if you're watching this, things have gone exactly the way I hoped they wouldn't." The entire team gathered around the monitor. Parker continued, "There are people inside the federal government who have spent decades hiding the truth." Knight shook her head. "What truth?" Then Parker answered, "The truth about Vance." The room went silent. According to Parker's message, Vance had discovered evidence shortly before his death. Evidence proving a covert operation dating back more than 20 years had been compromised. Agents had been betrayed, witnesses eliminated, records altered, entire investigations erased. Vance had gotten close, too close, and someone made sure he paid the price. Parker had spent months quietly following the trail. After Vance died, he became obsessed with finding answers. What started as grief slowly transformed into determination. Then determination became suspicion, and suspicion eventually became certainty. There was a mole, not inside NCIS, higher, much higher. Someone capable of manipulating entire agencies. Someone who knew Parker was investigating. Someone preparing to strike. "I can't let them come after you," Parker said in the recording, "so I need them focused on me." Torres stared at the screen. "You idiot." But his voice revealed admiration more than anger. The following week delivered another shock. A federal safe house exploded outside Richmond. Authorities initially believed the target had escaped. Then investigators found evidence suggesting Parker had been there only hours earlier. The story immediately became national news. Suddenly, everyone wanted Parker. The FBI, the Department of Justice, congressional investigators, and several individuals whose names never appeared on any official document, which was exactly what Parker intended. Every powerful figure chasing him meant fewer eyes watching his team. Less danger for McGee, less danger for Knight, less danger for Torres. He had become the bait. As the season progressed, Parker's absence transformed NCIS. McGee stepped into leadership. Knight became increasingly aggressive in pursuing leads. Torres struggled with guilt. Each member of the team reacted differently. Yet all of them shared the same question. Why hadn't Parker trusted them? The answer finally arrived in episode 12, another encrypted message. This time recorded only days earlier. Parker appeared tired but determined. "I trust you," he said. "That's why I left." The team listened carefully. "If I had told you the truth, you would have followed me." He looked directly into the camera. "And some of you would have died." Nobody spoke, because they knew he was right. The mystery reached its climax when Parker finally resurfaced, late at night, during a thunderstorm, at Vance's gravesite. McGee found him standing alone. The two men stared at each other for several seconds. Neither spoke. Then McGee punched him. Hard. Parker stumbled backward. "That's for disappearing." Parker nodded. "Fair." Then McGee hugged him. The emotional moment revealed just how much Parker had become part of their family. Not a replacement for Gibbs, not another leader. Something different, something uniquely his own. The final revelation stunned everyone. Parker hadn't vanished because he was running away. He hadn't disappeared because he wanted revenge. He hadn't gone rogue. The real reason Parker vanished was because he uncovered a threat so dangerous that staying with the team would have placed targets on their backs. He sacrificed his reputation, his career, his safety, to protect the people he considered family. In classic NCIS fashion, the truth wasn't about conspiracies or secret organizations. It was about loyalty. The same loyalty that defined Gibbs, the same loyalty that defined Vance, and now the same loyalty that defined Parker. When the season finale ended, Parker returned to headquarters. The team welcomed him back. The conspiracy had been exposed, the enemies had been defeated. Yet something had changed. The experience left scars. Parker had seen how deep corruption could go, how easily good people could be lost, how fragile justice truly was. As he stood in the bullpen watching his team work, viewers realized something important. The man who disappeared wasn't the same man who returned. The easygoing leader who loved pastries and bad jokes was still there. But another side had emerged, a darker side, a more determined side, a side willing to cross lines if it meant protecting those he loved. And that may become the biggest story of NCIS Season 24. Because Parker's disappearance was never the end of his journey, it was only the beginning.